Hello, hello, hello. What's all this then? Well, officer, it's the foil review, where we look at some shiny cards. Because we're all children that like this sort of thing. My name's Hydo, and I'm going to be your parental supervisory role. I don't know how I got this job, but I did. Let's journey on into white. Bringer of the White Dawn is a 9 mana 5/5. Although you may pay a white, a blue, a black, a red, and a green, rather than pay Bringer of the White Dawn's mana cost. It has trample, and it reads, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may return target artifact card from your graveyard to play. This card is cool. I love the Bringers, you know, they're massive idiots, and they have big splashy effects. This one, my personal favourite thing to do with it is combine it with Mindslaver. So each upkeep, you bring back Mindslaver, then you can sacrifice it and take somebody's turn. I don't have many friends, and they're dwindling more and more the more I do this sort of rubbish. Let's move on and have a look at his foil. Look at all that background. Loads of foil, and then we've got his face. That face is so cartoony. Just a big stupid grin and eyes and a nose. It looks so stupid. I don't quite know what he is. Like, what is going on with these big ear things? Are they wings? Why is his body so spindly? Why has he got big crab claws? Like, what are bringers? Like, why? Why do they exist? And what are they bringing? And then we've got some bloke, two blokes actually, there's one over on the right there. Two guys sort of staring at it going, Jesus Christ, why is this thing in existence? Overall, the foil, well, it stands out, doesn't it? You're drawn exactly to the bringer, and there's a bit of perspective there. It's a cool card. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna go with a 7. A lot of foil, stands out. He's got big sort of flappy things. You see those eyes then? It's a really cool card. Yeah, it's a 7. 7. Very, very middle of the road, but good. Let's move on to Manawa, an absolute classic creature. 3 mana for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, return target creature to its owner's hand. Not just your opponents, you can do it on your own. Say if you want to reuse an enter the battlefield effect. That's something you can do. If you want. Anyway, let's have a look at the foil. We've got an Eternal Masters version of the card here. And there he is, the jellyfish man himself. And that is pretty disappointing. The actual image looks so low resolution. It looks terrible. Like it feels like the colors just are not right, and it's like being crushed in compression. Yeah, I don't like the actual image at all. The foiling is weak. Obviously, you have the strands, but I don't know. They just don't look aesthetically pleasing. They don't stand out. There's nothing striking about them. Ugh. No, very, very unfortunate. I don't like the look of this at all. Considering it's such an iconic creature, I was expecting a lot more. The overall it just doesn't look good. I'm gonna go for a 2. I don't think it exemplifies the image in the slightest. Yeah, it doesn't even look to me like a jellyfish. It's just a bunch of strands of. It's like you've frayed part of your cushion and it's hanging down. Like there's not enough body to it. There's not enough oomph. Like I just garbage. Let's move on. Curse of Misfortunes. 5 mana for an enchantment or a curse. Is it a curse? Or is it enchantment? Or okay, for Christ's sake. Anyway, enchant player. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may search your library for a curse card that doesn't have the same name as a curse attached to enchanted player. Put it onto the battlefield attached to that player, then shuffle your library. So, it's a lord for curses. It shoots them up, make sure you've got loads of different ones. You know, blah, 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 blah. Cool. It's cool. Not effective, but it is very cool. Let's have a look at the image. Yes. See, Innistrad really has this sort of aesthetic nailed down. It makes me think of Bloodborne and, you know, like the Eldritch horror sort of novels from that was based on. And this is he got a nose for an yeah, he's got an ear for a nose sort of thing, I think it looks like. I don't know. But like the whole foiling here really gives off that misty, sort of mysterious vibe, which is exemplified in the actual spirit thing there. Oh, you can see it pouring out of his mouth towards him. Yes, that's nice. The aesthetic's wonderful on this card. And it... yeah. You can't really tell what's going on from a distance, but when you bring it in, the foiling really brings out the details, especially around the lamp there. See where the colours are. Looks very nice. I like it. I think this is a decently done foil. Well, a good and sort of different use of foiling that we don't really see. It brings a lot of atmosphere to it. It doesn't particularly pick out a character like I showed you. The distance, you can't really tell what the hell's going on. It looks like there's a big sort of bubble shield over on the right. But when you actually look at it close up, there's a lot of atmosphere to it. And that, I think, it's a strong use of foil. I like it. Very nice. Let's move on to some big fatties, some heavyweights. A 4-mana 8/8. It's a giant warrior. It's got trample, and when it comes into play, each opponent may search his or her library for a creature card and put it into play. Ooh. Then each player who searched his or her library this way shuffles it. Really cool. The sort of effect that you don't see hardly ever in Magic, you know, you really... No. Sorry about that, got absorbed by the greenness. Anyway, a really cool effect that we don't see that often, really helping your opponent, so it's a massive negative, but you do get a 4-mana 8/8. Let's have a look at the foil, shall we? There it is, look at these big Berthas. The Giants in Lorwyn look so ridiculous. It's so sort of... look at that arm. It's just massive. A lot of personality, though. The beads, they look really quite cool. You know, a bit of personality. And then his groin plate really stands out, and it looks like it's got a smiley face drawn on it. Looks like the plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Oh, jeez. And then, oh, wow. The foil really helps us pick out the destruction that they're creating down at the bottom. Look at all those like pieces of wood. That looks so cool. Such high detail. And then we've got loads of Kithkin running away in the image. Yeah, this is good. I like this. Very cool use of foil. I think that looks really, really nice. I'm going to go 8. Yeah. Very cool. The foiling, not that much detail, but, you know, whenever there's a groin plate involved, I just get an overwhelming urge to be excited. Which brings us on to our 5th card. Gemrazer. A 4-mana 4/4 that has mutate. Mutate basically means you can add it onto a creature for the mutate cost. You're still casting the spell, it's not an activated ability, but you get to place it on top of or around the side of something. And usually you get an effect the same when you do that. So the card has reach and trample, and whenever this creature mutates, destroy type artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. Very good effect. Let's try and I'll try and explain mutate. So I have a Baldware heavyweight who's an 8/8. If I mutate onto it, I have to choose which one goes on top and which one on bottom. Oh, sod this. It's too complicated. Anyway, let's have a look at the foil. Ooh. Look at him. Big shining eyes. Very cool. And then we've got these fantastic little anime, speed lines, I guess you'd call, because he's sort of whooshing towards you. He's going, whoosh. Yeah. Lots of detail on this. Wow. Look at how this cartoon style really plays well with foil. Look at how much detail you can see. That looks so cool. This image is so strong. And then the actual eye foil, it isn't just the eyes. There's even a bit of energy to it. It's swishing off to the right. Wow. Yeah. This looks fantastic. That is such a cool foil. I think we're gonna have to go 9. Like, there's so much personality to it, and it's just so different to anything else in Magic. It's almost like a Pokemon card. Yeah, really nice. Really, really like that. Very cool. Which brings on to I've just had to see what it is, and it's atrocious. Amorphous Axe, 2 mana. Equipped creature gets +3/+0, and is every creature type. Equipped for 3 mana. Quite a cool card, you know. Giving every creature type really helps. Can be absolutely anything you want it to be, and, you know, get buffs from other lords, things like that. This foil, and it is a Commander's Legends foil, is so bad. Like, look at how cloudy it is. Like, the text, like, compared with, like, that text is smaller, but it's so much more readable. It's so easy to pick it out. This is so drab, and it's minging. What a disappointment. I suppose the actual image, you know, the goo looks pretty nice. You know, we've got some blade there, but it is such a poor printing job. That should be really popping out, but it's just so bland and dull. Terrible. I suppose the foil is catching, and it's very detailed. You know, you can really see where the sort of changeling goo is, but it's so 1 out of 10. It's just such a disappointment. The actual image could have been really, really good, but because of the printing, awful. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And thankfully, the last card we've got, Exploding Borders, which is a 4-mana sorcery with Domain. Search your library for a basic land card. Put that card into play tapped, then shuffle your library. Exploding Borders deals X damage to target player, where X is the number of basic land types among land types you control. Thankfully, this foil actually looks half decent. You know, it's well coloured. And it's over, how old is it? From 2009, so it's 12 years old. And it looks dazzling by comparison to that bloody axe. Look. The details are there. You can see the foil through the trees. The actual gold really sort of shimmers when it catches the light. And then we've got all this lava. It's beautiful. It's excellent foiling. And this is 12 years old. What? It's so infuriating that, you know, these newer cards, which are really cool, the artwork's really good, and the actual, you know, choice of foiling with all that goo and everything was so well chosen, but the printing issues are just getting in the way. It's such a disappointment. Anyway, back to this card. The actual foiling's great. Yeah. You really get a sense that, you know, this land is going to kill you. It's going to deal 4 or 5 damage to you because you've got loads of land types. Very cool. Really like it. 8. Good. It's good. That axe is terrible. But that was very, very good. And I feel like it's overshadowed the exploding borders. Terrible. Anyway, I'm done for the day. I've done my 7 cards. And if you'd like to watch some more, you can. Please consider subscribing because I'm releasing a lot of these videos. I very much enjoy making them, looking at cards. And if you'd like to see some more, please consider watching more. There's nothing else really I can say. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.